What's going on, guys? It's Preston, and today I have some Star Wars Battlefront 2 news for you. I also have a lot of leaked info, and a lot of it has been confirmed, so we'll go over that in a little bit. But first off, we have a tweet from EA Star Wars. It came out September 21st, so I think it was last Thursday, and they did it. They tried to do it in secret and just star out every character for all the maps, but like it got decoded within like 10 minutes, so they ended up just dropping the whole thing. But I'm just gonna go through these one by one, and then if you don't know what they are, I guess I'll just do a brief description of them. So these are the confirmed maps. I don't believe that we will get any other maps at launch. Every once in a while we'll get new characters and new maps. So to start with, we have Naboo. Naboo is the home planet of the Emperor Sheev Palpatine. Takes place episode 1 pretty much. That is a prequel planet. As you can see, the first 3 are prequel, the next 5 are original trilogy, and then the next 3 are the sequel trilogy. So Naboo is a prequel map. We'll be playing it in the beta Theed, and I think that is the only map that we'll play is Theed. I don't think we'll play the planes like we did in Battlefront 1, like the Battlefront 1 from way back 10 plus years ago. That was one of my favorite maps. It was wide open. I really like that, but I do not believe we are going to get that just Theed. Kamino, that's the rainy one, the ocean planet. That's where the cloning facilities are. Kashyyyk, that's the Wookiee home planet. Episode 3 shows Kashyyyk when the droids attack them. And then starting off our original trilogy, we have Endor. Yeah, I guess Endor is the name of the moon, but it's also the moon of Endor. Endor is the one with the native Ewoks, and it's just straight forest. We've seen this in every single game. I don't know how excited I am about that. I'm getting a little tired of Endor. Next up we have is Death Star 2, not Death Star 1 like in the previous Battlefronts. I really don't think there will be a difference. The only difference will be the name. The rest of it, just the corridors, is pretty much going to be the same. I'm a little sick of that. Hoth, I am excited for. Hoth has always been fun in every single thing. That's the snow planet in Episode 5, Return of the Empire Strikes Back, my bad. And then next up is Mos Eisley. That is on Tatooine. That's where the cantina is in Episode 4. We have seen that in most of the games. It will probably be a big city. In this upcoming info I have about it, I do have some information. The person that leaked all this said that Mos Eisley is really fun because of all the creatures running about, all the Jawas and other little things that will be running about. And then starting off the sequel trilogy is Jakku. That's Rey's home planet, and that is where the last stand of the Empire took place. So I do hope that it will be amongst, all the wreckage, the ruins of the ruined Star Destroyers. Takodana, that is Maz Kanata's, where her castle is. It's the place that Rey refers to, or she says that she hasn't seen this much green in the whole galaxy. That's that one place. And also where that First Order Resistance skirmish took place. Starkiller Base, that is in Episode 7, as we can see. So that is all the planets, all the maps that have been confirmed. I do think that's not a lot. I really like Battlefront 2, the older Battlefront 2 with, the list that just went on and on and on. I am excited to see all these though, especially Takodana, but Kashyyyk I'm really excited for, Naboo and Takodana. I do hope Starkiller Base is not inside and it is outside in the snow. That would be great. In other news, we have a bunch of leaked info from a Redditor named, his username is reveal_time_bfedit. I'll have his profile in the description, his Reddit profile in the description, but he just went through and had an AMA of all these things that are in the game. He has a lot of sources in at EA, so I do trust a lot of this information, as do a lot of other people at the Star Wars Battlefront subreddit. But first off, I'm going to go with, I kind of grouped all these, and then I'll go over each of them. So first off, the gameplay. There's going to be some atmospheric battles, so you'll be able to fly around in the map and battle there. There's nothing behind a paywall. It's not pay to win. You can pay and get some things, but there's nothing locked behind it. You will have to do some grinding, it says though. And then all multiplayer maps will be available offline, and most of the modes will as well. There haven't been any confirmed yet, but there will be some that aren't. Next up are maps. There is a possibility of cross-era maps such as Jakku, because like I said, Jakku was the last stand of the Empire, and it's also, you know, Rey's home planet in episode 7, so we do see the First Order there as well. So it's possible that it could be multiple things. And then also, in that last stand of the Empire, it was not against the Rebels, it was against the New Republic. So it could mean that as well. Jabba's Palace is probably going to be a small map at launch. That's pretty much confirmed. Geonosis wasn't mentioned at all. Geonosis wasn't mentioned at all in the code. Vardos, which is Iden Versio's home planet, it's in the Star Wars Battlefront Inferno Squad novel. It's not going to appear in multiplayer at release. So I do hope that it's a DLC that comes out later, because I like the description of that planet. I really want to see it. It's a planet that's loyal to the Empire through and through. And then apparently a Bespin map is likely to be included. Right here it says it's at launch, but we do have the launch maps right here, so I believe that will come later. Next up are game modes. These are, we don't have a lot of them confirmed or leaked or whatever, but the guy said that Heroes and Villains is going to be in the game. The same Heroes and Villains as Battlefront 2015, but it's going to be a little bit different, which I am all for. Heroes and Villains was, just the Battlefront right now is kind of a mess. You know, as long as they improve it, I'm happy. Apparently there is a 1v1 mode, but it is offline only, so it sounds like it will be a split screen sort of thing. And then Coruscant space battles are not going to be at launch. They could possibly be later though. Next up are the skins. If you pre-order the game, you'll get a Rey skin, Kylo Ren, I can't remember any of the others, but we do know that we'll have different skins for different heroes. Right here it does say that not all heroes will have multiple skins though, which I'm totally okay with. You know, like, I have some info later on about General Hux possibly being added, and like what other skin could he, you know, be in. But you can acquire hero skins in loot crates. I'm not too excited for that, because I just really don't like this microtransaction sort of thing. It pisses me off. But as long as it's not behind a paywall and you don't have to pay to get it, then I'm happy. I have some info about Grievous. I'll talk about him later on, but it said that he's going to have a skin with his cape. So that will be pretty cool. Kylo will have 3 Force Awakens skins, all with different variations, like his mask, his cloak, and his hood. The Last Jedi one, that is the pre-order, is unique. That's the only one he's unmasked. So I am excited to see all of those. I really like Kylo. Luke is going to have either a green or a blue lightsaber, depending on his skin. Han is going to have multiple skins. The one we know 100% is his A New Hope skin. There's also going to be a Farm Boy Luke, Bespin Luke, and a New Hope Han Leia skin that should be available at launch. For future skins that might come out, Jyn Erso and Krennic are in the files. They do have different skins. Jyn does have a Jedha skin, but it will for sure not going to be released at launch. Some other skins being considered are Chewie with C-3PO on his back, Lando in his commander uniform like in episode 6, Rebel pilot Luke with his yellow jacket like at the end of A New Hope, and old Han and old Chewie. We're getting into the characters and sort of the model sort of thing, but there are at least 14 characters at launch. I'll go over a video later with the ones that are confirmed, but this does say that there are at least 14, which is awesome. Royal Guards were found in the files. I'm really happy about that. I do love the Royal Guards. And apparently Yoda was done first because he was the hardest character, the hardest model to create. He wasn't like anything else, any other character. They had to start from scratch with him, and so they felt like they couldn't develop him within a season, so they were just going to make him first. Greedo, Nien Nunb, and Dengar, the bounty hunter, they will not be included in the game, along with no Jar Jar. Ewoks are in the files. Let's hope they aren't playable, and hope they just are on Endor. And then Iden Versio, it said here, I'll talk about Grievous later, but it said that Iden will be a hero if Grievous is not completed by launch, and I'll get to that later on. But Iden was she's the, what is she, commander of Inferno Squad, the Empire's special operations, special forces. She's in the story trailer, she's the main character, but since she's pretty much a completed hero, they were just going to replace her if they couldn't finish Grievous. Which leads us on to our next one, Grievous. It sounds like Grievous is not going to be released at launch. He'll be added later, and that also means that Obi-Wan will be added later as well. It said that Obi-Wan is the counter to Grievous, so whenever Grievous is added, Obi-Wan and all his things will be added as well. So that pretty much confirms that Iden will be in the game at launch. Grievous has his 4 lightsabers incorporated, which is freaking awesome. I can't wait to use them. And then Obi-Wan is 100% to be in the game just whenever Grievous is released. And then it's also definitely possible that Anakin and Ahsoka are going to be added, just because it's fairly easy. They really just need to add Ahsoka's Leku. No, she's not a Twi'lek. Never mind. Her, whatever those things are. And Anakin's just a human, so that should be pretty easy. Next up are vehicles. The Wookiee Catamaran, that's the flying thing we see at the beginning of when we first see Kashyyyk in Episode 3. We see the Catamaran flying over. Rebels will have the AT-RT. That's really interesting. They'll have that as their ground vehicle. The AT-RT, if I'm not mistaken, was the two-legged walker going back to Episode 3, Kashyyyk again. After Order 66 happens and the clones go and it's night and they pull up on a catamaran and there are dead Wookiees inside, those walkers, if I'm not mistaken, that is an AT-RT. So I'm kind of wondering why that would be a Rebel unit. Maybe they found some. Ships for the Resistance are the X-Wing, A-Wing, and BSF-17 bomber. Ships for the First Order are the TIE Fighter, the new TIE Bomber, and the last one is still unknown. It's probably from The Last Jedi. And then all vehicles will be single seat, except for the LAAT, which is it's like a bigger gunship, Republic gunship, the Wookiee Catamaran, and U-Wing, so it sounds like those will all be for transport. Jango Slave 1 is going to be in the game, but it has the same abilities as Boba's, just different voice acting. And then later on, Kenobi Starfighter will be released, but that's only when Kenobi is released with Grievous. Weapons, there are twice as many weapons as Battlefront 1, and twice as many star cards, which I am super excited for. You get tons of customization, different setups, and then weapons are going to be for all eras, so it's not only First Order gets these weapons, Resistance gets these, all the weapons are for everyone. And then there's a possible fire grenade ability for the First Order Stormtrooper, which sounds kind of cool. Then lightsaber combat has been improved from the alpha, so don't worry about that. And then last off, there is no mod support, which I'm all for. I'm happy with that. That's about it, guys. I'll link his profile in the description. You can go check him out. That really helped. I am super excited for this game. Probably, maybe I am a little bit more excited for this than Call of Duty, just because I love Star Wars, have my whole life, but super excited for it. Can't wait. I can't wait for the campaign as well, but I can't wait for the beta. That comes out, what is that, 2 weeks? So that's a lot better than waiting until middle of November for it. So that's about it. I'll come out with some new Battlefront news this upcoming week. EA did say that they were going to release a bunch, so I'll be covering that as well, and I'll see you guys next time.